guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm not even gonna say the same old routine, and I'm not even gonna say the same thing that I normally say, which is, I know it's been a long time because I know my inconsistency has been really bad, but I have reasons, I have excuses, and I'm just gonna dish everything out for y'all and lay it out on the table so that you guys know what's been going on. So I'm gonna start by, as you can see from the title, like major things have happened in my life. I took like very dramatic decisions, and I decided to resign from the company that I was working for the past, I think it was my first job. So I've been working there for 7 years. 7 years, I think, somewhere around there. And I started working there when I was 19, so it was my very first job. And before I go any further in telling you guys how it came about that I resigned and what I've learned from resigning, I just want to send a big shout out to the company that I worked for, which is Monte Casino, and to my colleagues who I feel like have raised me with my parents, because I started working with them when I was very young, and to give props where props is due, because there are some people that I worked with who really groomed me, who gave me advice, who encouraged me to be who I am today, to be as confident as I am. To my poker family, they know who they are. I love you very much, and I'm gonna miss you guys so much. But and to my customers, to my players, to my poker players, to my roulette players, to my blackjack players, I love you guys. And to even the difficult ones, like there are some customers who are very difficult, but they've made me stronger in the process. I can stand up for myself now. I can command a room or command a table. I can command respect, and it's all because of my customers. It's all because of my managers, my supervisors, and so forth. I really just want to say thank you to them. With that being said, let's get into the main topic of this video, which is I resigned during a pandemic when the economy was like and a lot of people were very worried and were very surprised, I guess. But these are people, I think people who are surprised about me wanting to resign were people who are not that close to me, because they didn't know why and whatnot, and they were just worried and concerned. I think the first people that I need to mention is my parents. Like, I call my mother and my stepfather, and I told them that, what, I'm thinking of resigning. And they were, I think their natural response was coming from a place of fear and a place of being worried about my well-being. And most people, were worried that I'm resigning abrupt because of the hardship that, I feel like every industry has been facing due to the corona lockdown, and not earning the same salary as we are used to, and so forth, and the difficulties that came with it. And truthfully, that was one thing that pushed me like harder to the decision, but it wasn't my main reason why I decided to resign. So I told my parents, I'm like, this is what I'm thinking of doing, and they were like asking me why, what are the reasons, so that they can just understand where I was coming from. And I told them, and it took, I think, a couple of days for them to, because they were a little bit against it. They were like, give us some time and whatnot. But after a while, they could see that I was very adamant, and I was mentally, like that, I thought about it, and they gave me their support. And once, I'm very close with my mother, and once my mother gives me support in something, I become so, like, my confidence goes to another level. And sorry about that, cars outside. But yeah, I become so confident and so strong in the belief that I'm doing the right thing. So I was so happy that my mother supported me in that decision. So after that, I drew up my resignation letter, my first resignation letter ever. I was like, but yeah, I drew up my resignation letter and I handed it in at work. Now, at work, I because I've been working there so long, I've developed a very close relationship with my managers, my supervisors, and so forth. So when I did go and hand in my resignation, some were excited, some were worried, but they wished me all the best. And yeah, they were excited that I see myself venturing into something that I felt like I was going to grow in, something that I loved, and they wished me all the best. So that was like, but now I want to get into what I asked myself, or what you have to go through first before resigning, because I want to give people out there advice on not resigning abrupt. Like, I think I've been unemployed for a month now, so it's still a little bit fresh. So I want to just give people advice out there who are thinking of resigning, of what to think of before you resign. First thing is first that I think I thought of is, why do I want to resign? And not, you can't just, especially as a grown-up, like, people growing up, being a grown-up is so hard. Like, when you're younger, you're like rushing into it. When you're a teenager and whatnot, you're rushing into it. You're so excited to be independent and whatnot, not knowing the pressures that come with it. So I had to sit myself down and really ask myself why I wanted to resign. And one of the major things is, I've always been a person who wanted to work for themselves, who wanted to see what I was capable of in that area of running my own business, which I have been. I've had a small business for the past 2 years that I've been running, but working full time. So I didn't even have much time or energy to grow it or focus on it fully. So that was one of the things that I've always had in my mind for the past 2 years that I've been running it, that one day I'm going to resign and I'm going to focus on my business full time and grow it. And because I had grown to love it, I had grown to learn so much about it, and I like the fact that it challenged me. Now I've been doing what I was a casino dealer, for those who didn't know, and I worked there so long to an extent that there was nothing that was challenging me anymore. Yes, I had areas where I could improve. I was not perfect at my job. I did the best that I could, but I felt like I had reached the ceiling of knowledge when it came to being a casino dealer, and the job just became another paycheck, which is something that I never want to live my life doing, pursuing just another paycheck, because I am a very passionate person. So I want to be passionate about waking up and knowing that I'm going to do something that I love, do something that brings something to me. In that extent, I can pour myself out and bring positivity to others. So that was one of the reasons, like running my business full time and just exploring what my capabilities were in the entrepreneurial field. So I was like, how bad do you want this? Do you really think you can do this? And it took a long time for me to have confidence in myself, but I think I'm getting there. I think I'm slowly getting there to I've always said I am my worst critic, guys. I don't think there's anybody who can just criticize me as much as I criticize myself. I am my worst critic. But I'm slowly learning to balance it and just be my biggest cheerleader as well. So that's one thing. I was like, you know what, you can do this, you have the capabilities, you have the strength, and go for it. So I was like, that is one of my major reasons why I wanted to resign. Secondly was finances. I feel like purpose is always the first, reason is always the first. And then the second thing that, you know what, we try and downplay, but is reality, is your finances. You have to look at financially, where are you at? And with me, it was, okay, when you start working young, you make a lot of stupid mistakes, especially when it comes to money. I made a whole lot of stupid decisions. I was in debt at some point, in huge debt, buying things, contracts of whatever and so forth. So I had a lot of debts, and I slowly, with the help of my mother's advice and whatnot, I slowly came out of the debt. So I had been out of debt for a while, for a couple of years, and I was like, plus, you know what, my best friend, shout out to her, she knows who she is. Hi, Jules. My best friend is one of the most savvy people when it comes to money. She knows how to manage her money well, and we lived together for a while, so I could see she never like sat me down and really just broke down, like gave me like straight financial advice, but I could see how she was dealing with her finances and whatnot, and that helped me in terms of my finances as well, to know that, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that, maybe I can invest in that, I shouldn't do that, so forth. So it's great to have friends like that. So I'm very grateful for her, even though she probably was not aware that she was doing that for me, but she did. So yeah, I paid off my debts with the help of my mother's advice and just looking at my best friend's financial way of doing things. And I got to a point where the only thing I was working for was to pay my monthly installment for my car. I was like, that's the only reason I needed a consistent income on a monthly basis. That stopped me from, I can take the risk of resigning and risk being an entrepreneur and so forth. So that was my only reason. So I sat down, I calculated how much I was left with on the car, if I can pay it off and so forth. And I found that, I wasn't left with a lot of money. Really, it wasn't a lot of money, so I could pay it off and own my car finally and not have the heavy burden of debt when it came to my car. So that was the second reason, my finances. I looked at my finances and made sure that my finances could allow me to take the risk to resign. The third thing for me that motivated me to resign, I think I would say, was the economic structure of our country right now, with the COVID pandemic and all companies closing and not having the salary that I had. And I had to still pay rent, pay off my car, and buy groceries and make sure that I lived. So it was very hard. Like, I think everybody knows how hard it has been, especially people who are depending on salaries or depending on companies to pay them and so forth. It's been really hard. I can't imagine, I was sitting down and I was saying to myself, I'm so fortunate. I don't have a child, I don't have a bond, I don't have anybody depending on me. My mother or my parents are fortunate they don't need help, financial help from me. They can, be able to take care of my siblings, that three kids that are behind me. I'm the firstborn, so I didn't have like the stress of anybody depending on me. So I just put myself in other people's shoes who were going through it, and yeah, I just felt it was horrible to witness. It was horrible to know, just the knowledge of knowing that people are going through that. So yeah, I was going through my problems as well, of saying it was an expense for me to work, because now when slowly as the lockdown eased, I think it was level 3. Level 3. My company opened, Monte Casino opened, the casino opened, and we could go to work. Now I was earning a salary that didn't provide for much, and I had to depend on my mother to help me out. I had to exhaust my savings to make sure that I paid rent, had petrol to go work every day, and so forth. So it wasn't worth it anymore for me to work. And that was one of the motivations. I was like, no, I think, again, this is an indirect sign that maybe whatever that I've been thinking about for so many years, that it's time to do it. It's time to take that risk and just, go into a different direction that I have been. Thinking about it as well, one of my last reasons why I resigned was, so funny enough, we all had plans before 2020. So one of my plans is I had applied to work on a cruise ship. Last year I went through all the processes that entail working overseas, medicals, getting my passport, getting my documentation ready. So I was so excited. I was like, traveling around the world and seeing places and so forth. So I was supposed to leave this year between around August. So I was supposed to leave then. So I thought I was going to resign in July and just get my things sorted out, and then go overseas. So already in my mind I had programmed myself that 2020 is the year that I resign. So it was already there. It was just, I thought I would go travel a bit and then come back and settle down and just focus on my business. That was my main my first plan that I had. But yeah, after Corona came and lockdown and borders were shut and companies closed, I had to re-strategize. I was like, okay, so because now I can't travel, and that nice part is I was going to be able to travel and earn a very decent amount of money. I can't do that anymore as yet. So I had to re-strategize, and re-strategizing, this was the result of re-strategizing. So right now I am living between two places. It's a little bit crazy because I am living between two places. I am living between home, which is in Mpumalanga, and Joburg. So I'm living between my mother's place and my sister's place. So I'm traveling between them. So I'm like maybe probably like 2 weeks in Mpumalanga, and then weekends most of the time I'm in Joburg, because now I was blessed to get an opportunity to be a radio presenter. So I'm a radio presenter in a radio station in Mpumalanga, and my radio show runs from Monday to Friday. So I can't really be in Joburg for long. So I'm most of the time in Joburg on weekends, because I have Joburg is home to me because I've lived there for so long, and I haven't lived home, like I haven't lived in the same roof as my mother for so long. So Joburg is home, and I have a strong bond with it. Plus I have clients there. I still have business connections that I am busy trying to secure that side. So that's why I am traveling between two places. I don't have a sturdy home right now. I don't want to say I'm homeless. You're never homeless. You're never homeless. So I'm not homeless. I'm just in between places right now. And yeah, so I am in Mpumalanga weekdays, and weekends I'm in Joburg. And it's not going bad. Like, it is so intimidating though. It is very, very intimidating. I was scared. I think the first week when I realized I was sitting at home, and I realized that, like, I really did it and I'm unemployed. And everything was in my hands now. And it was like, yeah, it was scary. But now, like, as time has gone by, and as I see myself putting things, my thoughts, my plans into action, I am so excited. I'm so pumped up. I'm so excited to let you guys see what I've been up to. I'm so excited for you guys to see my company, the growth, the high quality now that I am working with. So, and the future plans, and just my radio presenting journey, and the consistency that I'll now have on YouTube, and sharing with you guys just the struggles of a young woman trying to make her dreams, her ambition, her her love of what she feels like her life should be come to fruition. I always tell people, and I am proud of this, that I am such a proud feminist. I am a big cheerleader for women out there who are just striving to be the best that they can be, whatever it is. We all have our own vision of what we feel like our lives should be. Not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and trust me, it's stressful. So yeah, but like, I am so excited, and yeah, I just hope that imparting my journey, you seeing now my journey that I will be recording and sharing with you guys, will motivate you and encourage you to just go for what you feel your purpose is, and go for what you love. And let's stop existing, guys. Let's stop just merely existing and start taking our lives into our hands and live, so yeah, that'll be it for me for now. But I promise consistency now. I promise that I'll be shooting more entertaining, encouraging, motivating, fun videos for you guys. I love you guys, and please, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I see a lot of people view my videos, but they don't subscribe. We don't know why. Me and the my my friends in my head. Oh, I miss my best friend, but never mind, that's a story for another time. But yeah, please guys, do subscribe, do support, do like this video, and please tell me, for those who have resigned, because this is my first time, for those who have resigned, please share your story on the comments down below of how it was like when you resigned, and what thoughts and how did you prepare for resigning, and how you're doing now. Encourage us who are just new to new ventures and new chapters in our lives. Just let's encourage each other in the comments below, and I am so excited to hear what you guys have to say about my little life dynamics right now. But I love you guys, and I will see you soon.